Yo, welcome to the show where the energy's flown. It's your boy dropping heat. This is the Ozone. Step into the arena where legends are made. From the courts to the fields, watch the highlights played. Football, hoops, baseball, it's all fair game. If it's sports, we bring the fire, put respect on the name. Stats and debates, we break it all down. From the rookies to the GOATs who wear the crown. No halftime, all grind, we're setting the tone. It's prime time, baby, you're in the Ozone. Yo, it's passion, precision, the plays we dissect. From the underdogs, grinding to the Hall of Fame vets. This is more than a podcast, it's a sports throne. Let's kick it off right, welcome to the Ozone.
You have entered the Ozone with Omar and Dave.
Let's go, baby. We are here, and you guys are officially entered the Ozone. It's your boy Omar here. Not taking no knees like Javante Davis did, but Javante, you looking a little slow on that one, man. I don't know. Roach should have gotten that win. You got a little lucky with that draw, but you know who don't take no draws or no L's and only takes dubs? It's my co-host, super producer Dave himself. Brother, it's a new week. How we feeling?
I'm still coming down from the high of yesterday's news, or not even news, the events that took place last night. And I don't want to give too much, but we'll cover it at some point in this show. How about that?
Oh, we're going to cover it. We're going to cover it. Because that was big news. But what was also big news in New York, and we got to talk about that, is Fox Sports top 10 biggest athletes currently playing in New York list that they came up with over this past week. Now, before we get into Fox's list, bro, we did construct our own list. Now, because there's certain players on this list that don't need to be on this list, and there's certain players that don't need to be in the spot that they're on in this top 10. So, super producer Dave, do your magic, upload Fox top 10 right now. And as you can see, guys, number one is already a controversial topic already. Juan Soto's number one, followed by the Yankee captain Aaron Judge at 2, followed by the Knicks captain Jalen Brunson at 3, followed by what's rumored to be the next Mets captain Francisco Lindor at 4. Then you have Karl Towns at 5, Malik Neighbors 6, Jets cornerback Pro Bowler Sauce Gardner at 7. Then you have Jets wide receiver Devontae Adams at 8, Giancarlo Stanton at 9, and then rounding up the top 10 is the polar bear Pete Alonso at 10. So, brother, before we dissect who should be on this list, who shouldn't be at this position in this top 10, what was your first initial reactions to this top 10 list?
My first initial reaction is why is Juan Soto there? And I had to look at this
Hold up.
list.
Why is Juan Soto there? Why is he number one?
Why is he okay?
You're about to break the internet.
Let me mince my words. Why is Juan Soto number one? And you start thinking about it, and it's just like, okay, if it's a contract situation, if it's like who brings the most money, then of course, yes, Juan Soto. It's the biggest deal in American sports in forever, you know?
Right.
So you start to think, okay, is this the list that they're building around? Is it? You see opinions on that same tweet, and you have people talking about like, well, he's not the best, da 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 da, and it's just like, if we're going by what the literal statement says, biggest at, I still don't consider Juan Soto number one just because of the contract. He has, yes, he got to the World Series with the Yankees in his first year in New York, but he hasn't done nothing in the Mets to get them anything to be warranted number one as far as biggest. Now, if you're going off of like because of the money, then great, put him at number one. I don't agree with that, but this is Fox's list, and that's why we made our own.
Yeah, we made our own, and I don't know what merit this list. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I don't really watch much Fox Sports TV shows that maybe they had a conversation about this. I would agree with you on Soto being number one. I know you and I have spoke about this off camera about what does biggest mean. Biggest athletes. What does that mean? Are we talking name and face value? Because if that's the case, I don't think Juan Soto is number one. Now, I'm not saying he's definitely within the top 5. That's 100%. I think I'm not, we haven't seen each other's list, but I'm pretty sure we got him positioned more or less probably in the same spot, probably within the top 10. I'll bet on that. But what does biggest mean? Does it mean the biggest moment? The player that produces the most? Like, what does that mean? That's very vague when they say biggest. So although we made our own list of the biggest current players, I definitely, uh, when forming my list, I graded it very differently. Some of it might be contradictory because I noticed that when I put the list, but I'm standing 10 toes down on my list. But I put it on just I broke it down into other things. So let's get into that. I know Dave and I have production meetings, but this times I go off the script and I kind of just want to just have my list first. I want to put my list first, and then I'm not going to get into the details of it. Then we'll
Actually,
have
no,
Dave's.
brother. Dig into
We
your
want to get into
details.
the details of
Get
it,
into
and
your
then we'll do
details.
yours,
Yeah,
and then we'll do yours. All right, perfect.
let's do
Okay.
that.
So Dave, work your magic. Put my list up. Bam. Oh, I sound like Stephen A. when I did that. Why did I do that? Oh, I hate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have problems.
But let's look at my list, guys. Number one, I got the man. I got Jalen Brunson. Um, and I'm gonna go through the list and then I'll go why. So we got Jalen Brunson at 1. I put Aaron Judge at 2, followed by Francisco Lindor at 3. Then I have Juan Soto at 4. At 5, I know we don't talk much hockey. I don't even think we brought up hockey once, but I cannot go without acknowledging the best goaltender in the game, Igor Shesterkin. I got him at 5. At 6, I got Karl-Anthony Towns, followed by 7, I got Garrett Cole. 8, I got Giancarlo Stanton. 9, I got the only person who's brought a championship to this city, Sabrina Ionescu. And then at number 10, I got the young rookie phenom of the New York Giants, Malik Neighbors. Brother, overall, what do you think of my list before I go with how I formulated my list?
So
Be real, be real. You can
no,
crap
no,
on it. I
no,
might
no.
crap on yours.
I'm being real. So as far as the adding the hockey player, what's his name again?
Igor Shesterkin.
There we go. That guy. So as far as that, I don't have him on my list, and I'm not a big hockey fan. So maybe this is like if you're asking for all New York sports coverage, then don't ask me. I'm only covering what I know or what I watch. So we differ there, and I do have Malik Neighbors on my list, but he's maybe a little bit higher than yours. I do agree with Sabrina as well, and it's your list, and I have no problems with your list. I just see things a little bit differently.
Okay. Like I said, when I came up with my list, I put it in biggest name, what they've done for their team, what they've done for the city, how the city views them. And this is where I toggled with Aaron Judge and Jalen Brunson. Because one thing we all know as New Yorkers, you have Met fans and you have Yankee fans. But for the most part, they come together when it comes to the New York Knicks. You don't have that debate in basketball with uh the Knicks and the Nets. So for the
They were a
most
little.
part, you're gonna get the Yankee only fans, like the baseball only fans is gonna go, oh, but Aaron Judge is a 2-time MVP. And I get that. Aaron Judge is at number 2 due to his World Series performance. And that's where I got him at number 2. Because although Jalen Brunson hasn't taken the Knicks to the finals, it's never been because Jalen Brunson went into a playoff series where he was outplayed or outmatched and didn't produce. Jalen Brunson has always, always come through in the clutch, has had big moments in playoffs. Now, has he lost to teams that were maybe, the circumstances with Miami? Maybe that should have been the series. Maybe we can pin it a little bit on Brunson. Remember that last turnover where he was, he didn't pass the ball to Josh Hart in Game 6. All right, maybe we could critique that. But Jalen Brunson averaged over 40 points in that series. Can we critique maybe they should have beaten Indiana? But it's hard to say that when he lost OG Anunoby, we lost Mitchell Robinson, we didn't have Julius Randle, and the man averaged damn near 35 points in that series. So this is why I got him number 1. Obviously, Judge at 2. Francisco Lindor, I got him at 3. I was a little wrong when we were talking about the whole Pete Alonso thing about him being the heart of the team. The more I speak to Met fans, the more I look at how the Mets are being covered. Francisco Lindor is the guy. Francisco Lindor's had big moments. The Grand Slam against Philadelphia. He's really the engine of that team. Then I have Juan Soto. What he was able to do with the Yankees, phenomenal. This is not me being salty that he's with the Mets. This is just it's 1 year. It's 1 year in. Like I said, I graded it on so many levels of this. What has he done? Like you said, off camera. I'm not sure if you said it off camera or on. What is Juan Soto hasn't really done much for the Mets yet. You know what I mean? So will he move up on this list maybe in 3 or 4 months? Possible. So then I got Igor, man. I think hockey doesn't get enough love in this city. Doesn't get enough love on his podcast, unfortunately. I would say calling myself a casual hockey fan would be giving me too much credit. But I do know who Igor Shesterkin is. I do know he's the best goalie in the NHL. He's also the highest paid goalie, I believe, in the NHL. And I watch the Rangers more when they're in the playoffs, and I've seen this man do some phenomenal things, and I think Ranger fans and they can attest to that. Karl Towns. Karl Towns is there because Karl Towns is in the top 10 MVP right now in the NBA. He's phenomenal. That's why I got him over Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole had a bum year last year. So currently, right now, as we stand, I think Garrett Cole right now is the 7th best. When you look at New York players, Giancarlo Stanton would have been a little bit more up too, but the injuries is there, man, and I can't forget that. Sabrina Ionescu, honestly, I should have put her number 1, but I got her number 9. And being realistic, that a lot of stupid men, and I'm gonna say that again, stupid men try to shun women's sports, but it's usually the fat guys on the couch that can't dribble basketball that would get cooked by any WNBA player if they would have played them in basketball. But Sabrina Ionescu is the only champion on this list, or as far as a champion that they've brought to New York. And then Malik Neighbors, we can already see it. Malik Neighbors is there. He will arguably be the best wide receiver within the next 2 to 3 years. So I got it at that. What he was able to do with the quarterbacks that he's had to play with in his first year. Come on, the guy's uber talented and he's special. So that's my list.
Really? All right, so
that's my list.
Here's a little magic. Here goes my list. So at number 10, and I'm going to start from the bottom up. So at number 10, I got Sauce Gardner, and oh my God, David, you got a Jet on your list? I'm idealistic, and at the end of the day, Sauce Gardner is a young talent. He's a player that you can build your secondary around. Not only that, but also your defense. The way that you have someone like that, I think of like a Darrelle Revis in the sense that, like, you know what? I know that you can do whatever you want. I can plan around everyone else. So that's how I see Sauce Gardner. And there's not that many corners that you can actually be like, you know what? Do your thing. And I trust you. They have a new defensive coach with Aaron Glenn, so I am interested to see what they do. I want you to lose, but I am interested in seeing what you do. Number 9, I got Sabrina Ionescu. She and the Liberty brought a championship to New York. What more do I have to say? Omar already pretty much covered it. She's putting WNBA on the map. It's not just Caitlin Clark or Angela Reese. This girl is actually doing it. She's in the 3-point contest with Curry. She's doing, and then she has one of the best sneaker models as far as like
she really does. Years. NBA players are hooping in them. Yes,
That's a topic for another day because you and I are both sneakerheads. But as far as basketball sneaker models that have come out in the recent years, they're trash. Sabrina's is clearly ahead of all of them. At number 8, I have Malik Neighbors, and he showed us why the Giants have so much potential building around him. You get a quarterback to that guy, and I am interested. Now, don't get me wrong. Your division is very tough with the Eagles and Commanders. Eagles just winning the Super Bowl, Commanders on the come up, and then Cowboys being the Cowboys, whatever. But they always have a chance at some point. I'm interested to see what Malik Neighbors does with this team, and I think he's considered, his first year in, I think he's good at number 8. Number 7, I have Giancarlo Stanton, and he's one of the great favors that Jeter, paid off to us. Thank you, Jeter, for, trading him for nothing. We appreciate it. I think if it wasn't for injuries, I'd put him higher at this list. And just to backtrack, as far as the list goes for me, I equivalent it to star power and what do you do for New York. This is how I rank my list as far as biggest. That's how I did it. Um, Karl-Anthony Towns is number 6, and while it's too early to have him in the top 5, the energy that New York has been since acquiring Towns has been electric, and you love to see how it's painting, the Leon Rose era and how everything is coming through together. It's exciting to see. You're having people coming out the woodworks finally being like, yes, I am a Knicks fan. It's just been really bad for the last my entirety of my fanhood. So I'm interested to see, and maybe if they bring a championship, maybe Karl-Anthony Towns is a little bit higher on that list as well. At number 5, I have Francisco Lindor, and at the time he signed, he had the longest Mets deal. It was a 10-year deal. It was the beginning of the Steve Cohen era, so he took a chance coming to the Mets, and it's so far paying forward. Let's see if that brings him a championship, because I think at the end of the day, when it comes to the Mets, a championship is what's needed so they can get that stigma around them gone. So we'll see. And he's clearly a fan favorite. And as you mentioned it before, he could be the captain. That's the rumor. And the fans love him. We thought Pete Alonso was the guy, but what do we know? We're not Met fans. Um, Number 4, I have Garrett Cole. And the reason I have Garrett Cole is he's a Cy Young winner with the Yankees. And he clearly shows us year in, year out why he is our ace. He's the reason why he's at the top of the lineup and why everything else goes around him. You know that when he's on the mound, we have a chance to just shut them out. And if not, he's going to keep us in the game. Number 3, I have Juan Soto. And if we're talking biggest athlete based off the contract alone, then yes, you belong in the top 3. Nobody's ever seen this money as far as American sports. Soccer players get more. So that's the only reason why I'm saying that. But he had a great season with the Yankees, and I'm excited to see what he does with the Mets. But as far as biggest, I don't consider him the biggest. I don't think you're that star if you're just talking money. You haven't done nothing as far as relevancy to New York. If you had brought the Yankees a championship and then left to the Mets, you'd probably be number 1. Um, Next we have Jalen Brunson, and this is the one I really debated on with between him and, of course, who's my number 1. Jalen Brunson, it's been really exciting to be a Knicks fan ever since Brunson joined. Everyone says that, and we've said it, Julius Randle was the person who helped turn this Knicks team around. But Jalen Brunson, since joining, everybody questioned, why are we giving this backup guard to Luka a crazy contract and blah, blah, blah. Guys, Leon Rose and the team has showed us why we should put our faith in them. And Jalen Brunson, you win a championship, you are the king of New York. Just take the keys to the city. You don't ever have to pay for a meal ever again. At number 1, we're sticking to the biggest athlete. And we're talking about the Yankees. We're talking about Aaron Judge. Everybody, all rise. All right? We're talking about a 2-time MVP. We're talking about a 2-time Hank Aaron Award winner. We're talking about a 6-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year. The Yankees are worldwide renowned. Like, at the end of the day, like, if you go and talk to any Yankee fan, as of now, who they're going to mention at the top of their mouth if it's not an old player? It's Aaron Judge. He is, everything goes around him. And I do know why you put him at number 2 because of his performance in this last playoffs, but he's still the guy. Like, it's very polarizing. We haven't had a captain since Derek Jeter retired. So that speaks volume in how the Yankees value him and his heart, and you can see how fans feel about him. Now, do better next time in the playoffs. But that's my number 1, Aaron Judge. Everybody, all rise.
Good list. It's a good list.
Any debates on there? I'd love to hear it.
I'm looking at it right now. I think you got Garrett Cole too high.
Okay.
I think I would put Francisco Lindor. I will put Lindor maybe at 4. All right, we can toggle between Juan Soto. I have Juan at 4. You have him at 3, so I'm not going to debate that. That's not much of a drop off. Um, I just think Garrett Cole. I think Garrett Cole right now. Yeah, he won the Cy Young 2 years ago, and I want to acknowledge that. But I just think we're we're going right now. Right, that's what the list is. Right now. And I just think there is a drop off. I think Francisco Lindor should be in front of him, and I think Karl-Anthony Towns should be in front of him, and I think Sauce Gardner on the list is who I fought with, but I gotta get, like I said, I gotta give it to Igor. I think when you're the best player in a league, as opposed to a cornerback that, okay, like Jet fans like him, but you can see I don't, so I don't know. There's something about Sauce Gardner that I think he's a little overrated. But I'm not hating it. It's a good list. I'm not hating it. I would say this: our list is better than Fox. What do they know?
Devontae
Um,
Adams, I'm still.
Devontae Adams is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's oh God. You know what? We've done enough talking about this. Something hit, groundbreaking happened, guys, 2 days ago, Saturday. Let's before we even get into that, this thing we're going to talk about that happened 2 days ago. It's 1996 Daytona Beach history making. And you probably asking, what was that? That was the day Hulk Hogan became a heel and formed the New World Order. And that's something that we thought we would never see. Eat your prayers, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, become a bad guy. Go ahead, bro.
Brother, I think I just want to tease I just want to tease our fans a little bit more. So if we're gonna cover Elimination Chamber, let's go down the list of how it went
Let's
down
go
in
down the
order.
list. Let's
I
go
just
down.
just hold it.
Okay.
Let's get there. Let's build
Yeah.
it up. Let's tell
All
a
right.
story.
Okay. So
Let's tell a
let's
story.
do that. Let's do that. The first match, my girl's back. So the first match, let's talk about the card. Let's do it. You know what? I'm trying to get into the history. I'm trying to get into what we just saw. And you're right. Let's build it up. Let's build to it because the opening of the Elimination Chamber that was live in Toronto, Canada, home of the Toronto Blue Jays. I think that's what they did in the Rogers Center. So shout
Hmm.
out to the WWE, man. WrestleManias used to be stadium shows. Now it seems like every premium live event now is at a stadium. That'll tell you how hot WWE is right now. So shout out to them. Let's get into that first match. So the first match was the Women's Elimination Chamber match that featured Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne. Now, brother, what I don't want to do is because then this can be a 3-hour show is get into the details of the process of elimination or how he was eliminated.
No, of course.
Let's just talk. Let's just do the keynotes of this match. And the keynotes of this match is my girl is back. Jay Cargill is back. And I love the swerve. Guys, if you notice, Jay Cargill was taken out storyline wise. She was attacked backstage and she's been out for a while. They kind of been telling the story that, they want us to think that Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez was behind it. But I think secretly people who watch wrestling knew, like, I don't know, I can't be that obvious. And just when you think Jay Cargill was going to come in and knock out Liv Morgan, she goes in and takes Naomi out, basically ragdogs Naomi. And, that was, it started off the event hot because it's, Jay Cargill comes out before the match even starts. Um, and it just set the right tone. We got a return and set the right tone and got the crowd hot because no one saw it. It was definitely a precursor of the biggest swerve we would eventually see later on in the show. So I loved how WWE opened with a swerve, and that was good. That was good. We do you want me to go over the who got eliminated first and whatnot?
I mean, we can go. I'd rather just go over the highlights because
Yeah,
process of elimination doesn't matter too much. But in
yeah.
this match, you
But
got to see
Naomi
Rox.
was first eliminated due to the attacks of of,
Thanks,
of Jay Cargill. Yeah.
thanks to your girl. Because I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I didn't like Naomi and Belair in the same match. So whatever.
Yeah. I agree.
Um, but Roxanne, she showed her stuff, and she shows why she belongs with the girls, with the top stars. She put on her show, and you can see that WWE has put their trust in her as far as coming up from NXT, two-time NXT champion, and she belongs with the girls. And I can't wait to see her in the WrestleMania top card someday in the future. You got a big future ahead of you. Alexa Bliss, she didn't miss a beat. Like, we saw her in the Rumble, and that was a great surprise at the time. And, she took some time off because she became a mom. She got married. There was a lot of things going on. But when she came back, brother, like, where's the ring rust? There is none. As far as I see
Yeah,
Alexa Bliss,
yeah,
there's no ring rust. Whether she was training for some time or whatever, we do not see it. Um, Liv Morgan in this match. Honestly, both of us coming into this picked her to win the match, and the way that
right.
everything was playing out, it looked like it was going to go that way. And brother, Bianca won.
Bianca Belair pulled it out. Bianca Belair pulled it out. I'm gonna be honest. I like Bianca Belair a lot. I'm a big fan. I have her pop somewhere around here in the Sneaker Suite Studios. Um, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I wanted Liv Morgan to win. I wanted Liv and Rhea to have that third. I don't think Io Sky is gonna beat Rhea Ripley on Raw. I know they're trying to get us to think that that's gonna happen. Like, oh, is Bianca now gonna? Who's she gonna face at WrestleMania? Rhea or Io? I think Rhea Ripley wins. I really wanted to see Rhea and Liv one more time. I think that would have been the third match. Because I want to see Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill. Because especially now after Jade Cargill came in and attacked Naomi, I really do think Bianca Belair is also behind it. I don't think this was just something that Naomi did and Bianca Belair had no idea. I think this was something. If you notice, if you guys look back, and it was put to my attention on Twitter when Jade Cargill comes into the ring, Naomi actually looks at Bianca Belair on a you think she knows? You know what I mean? It was like one of those. It wasn't just like a random look, bro. You know what I mean? So I wish they would have went that route. Now, hey, look, that's arguably their two biggest stars right now in their women's division is Bianca and Rhea. So I'm not hating it. I don't like it, but I don't hate it.
The only thing that gets messy with this is just the storyline with the Jade Cargill, Naomi and Bianca, and now having her in the title picture going into Mania. I honestly, if these two were gonna go at it, Rhea and Bianca, I want it to be clean. I want it to be just these two powerhouse girls going at it. Two cover stars for last year's game, by the way. You can clearly see that they are the top stars of the WWE right now as far as the women's division is considered. And I just don't like that it's going to be entangled with this whole Jade Cargill Naomi storyline, and that's why I kind of wanted Liv Morgan to win, just so that way that can play out separately. But I mean, WWE, as much as we have given it flack for the couple of years ago, as far as everything else going around, they are building a story, and I'm going to let them tell it because we can clearly see something was built later on that night that we did not see coming. So
Yep.
let's go
Yep.
to the next one.
So yeah, let's go to the next one. And that match was Tiffany Stratton and my GOAT, Trish Stratus, versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. I'm gonna be honest, bro. This was I'm gonna take a shower match. I'm gonna get comfortable. You know what I mean. As much as I love Trish Stratus, as much as I know that Tiffany Stratton is one of the stars that the WWE is currently putting the rocket on because she is the world champ. This match did nothing for me. This match was clearly, we're in Toronto. Let's give Trish Stratus LaShawn, but I thought this could have been on SmackDown. SmackDown was in Toronto on Friday. That could have easily been a SmackDown match. Um, I would have preferred like maybe an IC title match with Braun Breaker, or even a women's United States Championship match. A title match should have been featured,
Or
as
Tiff
opposed
or
to,
Tiffany versus Nia Jax, 1-on-1.
or even Tiffany versus Nia Jax for the title, right? Like because you knew who was winning. You
Right.
knew who was winning this match. This was a SmackDown match. I don't know if you want to go over it more. It
What
is what it was. It was good wrestling. Tiffany Stratton's good in the ring. Candice LeRae's good. Nia has improved a lot. I know we crap on Nia a lot on the group chat, but she has improved a lot. And it is what it was. It was a good match.
As far as I got to say, look, Trish Stratus looks amazing at 49. She can still go. I'm not a Candice LeRae fan, and I will always be bored whenever I
Yeah,
watch her.
I don't like her husband either. They both
Yeah,
trash. They both
and
trash.
whatever. Nia Jax, same thing. She's improved, and I think she's a great talent. She's not hurting people as much, so that's a good sign. And then Tiffany, I'm a big Tiffany fan. So I am a fan whenever you can see her talent put at full display. I hope that this match with her and Charlotte at WrestleMania is a good one, but we'll cover WrestleMania at a later date. This match was
Yeah,
just eh.
yeah, it's very skippable. Let's go to the next one. It's the unsanctioned match between rivals, best friends, however you want to describe them. Um, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Uh, the guys know in the group chat. I'm just so over Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn wrestling for the 2000th time. But this was a good match. This was good. I liked it. At first, I was just like, supposed to be. I hate when you have gimmick matches like Last Man Standing, No Holds Barred, Unsanctioned, and then you're seeing grapplings and holds. No, bell rings, instantly start trying to beat each other up, get weapons, get all that. I don't want to see false finishes. You shouldn't have to like do an early pin. It's an unsanctioned match. You want to beat the guy up. That's
And
the
also
premise of it.
like security and the backstage crew coming
Oh
out to
my
like stop it. Like
god, that was
I get it. You're
ridiculous.
trying to tell a story, and if you put a video package together, this looks great, right? We're all fans of like the old Stone Cold versus The Rock package or something where you have that like interaction where Stone Cold's being held back and he goes and still attacks him. We love those stuff in a video package, but this is an unsanctioned match, meaning anything goes. So why is it that there's what's this guy Jordan something Kurt Angle's fake son, like
Yeah,
people like
yeah.
him like trying to stop like Kevin Owens from doing like let it go at the end of the day, maybe play it back a little bit, maybe be there, but the fact that you're trying to get in the way of the match that's still taking place, I don't like that, and that's to me poor storytelling in that sense.
Yeah, that
um
made zero sense. That made zero sense.
with this match, like honestly, this is what haven't we seen in this match that we haven't seen before with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? Like, honestly, personally, it was a good match, but not great.
I like that they use certain things that WWE normally doesn't use, like barbed wire chairs. You don't see that much. Now in AEW, that can be like that's every Wednesday and Saturday with AEW. But I did like that. They got a little spicy. I love the spot where Sammy powerbomb KO through a table. And it's funny because I literally looked down on my phone and then he did it again and I realized I'm like, wait a minute, I'm watching this legit on Peacock. Did Peacock just glitch? You know what I mean? And it's like, nah, he just bang consecutive tables, and it's just like, oh right, this is what I want to see. Unsanctioned match, it should be something that you don't see normally in wrestling moves. I don't want you clearing out like fight. They scrapped throughout the whole stadium. I enjoyed it, but I think that gave it from being very enjoyable to me. But that moment there when security came out, and it's like, bro, it's unsanctioned. That means, and the crazy part about that, bro, is that was the buildup. That was the buildup. Like, hey, Sammy, we can't stop Kevin Owens if he wants to break your neck and end your career with this match. And then during the match, you're bringing guys out to try to stop Kevin Owens from breaking his neck. So it made zero sense, but it got Randy Orton back, and I know that's a big thing. Randy Orton came out looking like he had them Saquon Barkley quads. This guy's just this guy's jacked. Orton, it's good to see him back. You can kind of tell that they're leaning towards him KO for Mania.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll touch this later on with Randy Orton. I want to bring it up later on just because of how the way things can play out later on. Brother, let's cover the main event.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And what's funny? This was a good one. This was an elimination chamber that arguably you could have seen every participant maybe main event WrestleMania with Cody Rhodes. And now, the Elimination Chamber, which had John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Seth Rollins. This was good. I love this match. This match was
It
it
had
was
everything right.
it just flowed well. Yeah, it flowed well. It had your traditional heels and getting outnumbered by the baby faces, and then eventually Cena comes out, and then Punk. This told so many stories. This you kind of already see what matches they're leaning now towards at WrestleMania just by watching this match. You can see that they're gonna go towards Priest McIntyre, which that was kind of already kind of planted at Royal Rumble. You can tell they're probably venturing that way. Um, the only one that got me by surprise is Logan Paul because as I'm watching the match, I'm like, yo, are they like building for Logan versus CM Punk? Because you know what I mean? CM Punk did eliminate him at Royal Rumble. He Punk Paul's kind of made fun of him about that, and then Punk gets his get back and eliminates Logan Paul. Obviously, Logan Paul eliminated Damian Priest. Once Damian Priest eliminated McIntyre, he was attacked and that thing. So, like I said, you kind of see Priest and McIntyre being for WrestleMania. But then you get Rollins. You get Rollins' constant attention towards Punk that you go, I don't think they're done yet. So before we go with who won, let's just touch on that first, bro. Like I don't then that's what threw me off.
So speaking last week, I was like, Punk and Seth Rollins was gonna be. It was just like magnets. They were gonna be on each other the whole time as soon as they got the chance to be on each other. Um, I love it. I love what they're building towards there, and I was on the same page with you. Like, does it seem like Logan Paul and Punk are gonna do something? But I think the bigger picture is we get something with Rollins, Punk, and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. But once again, WrestleMania is another day. Um, Drew and Priest, I like it. I want to see these two big guys going at it. Priest has come into his own the last year, and Drew is probably. I didn't include last night. Me and the guys we spoke in the group chat, and we put our top wrestlers in the WWE right now. And honestly, I don't have Drew in the top 5, but he is there. He's the top 10 maybe. So I am interested in seeing what that match plays out. Punk versus Cena, like that was just so like nostalgic. Like to see them go at it and also just show a little bit of respect to one another. Something that we don't feel like was given to each other when they were bitter rivals.
Yeah.
So
I loved how they tag teamed on Rollins. I
right,
loved
right.
it. I
And
loved
then
it.
the obsession with Seth Rollins taking out Cena so he could just focus on Punk, and it's a little bit of shades of Drew McIntyre last year with his attention to Punk and just like eyes not on the prize. And
Right.
it literally is the reason what costed Seth Rollins the match. Um, and then what happens next is Seth Rollins is eliminated, and for a long time we kept thinking, is something going to happen because the chamber door was still open? We didn't know that Seth Rollins was still in the ring. They did a really good job with the camera angles where we didn't remember that Seth was still in the ring, and then it gets paid off with Seth Rollins curb stomping Punk, and this is where things start to unfold. Now, normally, in the past, John Cena wouldn't take the advantage of something like this. This is such a heel move to be like, well, my opponent's taken out. Let me,
Seth
let
Rollins
me.
takes out Punk, by the way. You skipped that,
Yes,
bro,
yes,
real quick.
he curb stomps
So he
CM Punk,
curbside CM Punk, right?
and then Cena does something that we never thought like we would see him do. Like usually he would be like attacking Rollins or something like that, or just like give his opponent an opportunity. No, he takes the opportunity and then makes him to does the submission. And Punk never taps out. He fades out. Cena wins the match. But it's just, why did Cena do that? Why would he do something that it's so
Yeah.
cowardly?
That's not Cena like. And we
Right.
should have seen it then.
But after the match, John Cena wins the match, and we get followed up really with Cody Rhodes' music hits, and he comes out in an all black suit, and everyone's thinking, and I've been wanting it, I've been preaching for it, I've been asking for it, brother. I wanted to see if Cody Rhodes would turn heel and sell his soul to The Rock. I don't get the sell soul thing, but they need something so Michael Cole could be yelling, "He sold his soul!"
Right.
And
Uh yeah,
Cody
go
turns
ahead.
him down. Cody turns The Rock down. And brother, just
Yeah, so The Rock first, The Rock comes out with Travis Scott. Um it's cool, it's a pop culture thing. I get it. I didn't think why Travis Scott needed to be in the ring. But like you said, Cody turns down The Rock's offer and selling his soul for immortality, I guess. Which this is why I thought, wait a minute, I think Cody's gonna do it. Because if you look at, and this is just credit to Triple H and how he books, Cody's always been on record to even while in AEW, even before that, like he's always wanted to have one thing he always, was like his dad never had that legacy in WWE. He was an NWA guy. He's always had that legacy. He never had it in WWE. And that's what Cody wanted for that Rhodes. legacy to have that as much importance in WWE than it had in NWA. So that's why I was like, oh, I can see this. When The Rock said like something like along those lines, like, oh, you would live forever. I'm like, oh shoot, Cody's doing it. But we got swerved. And shout outs to WWE production that it's second to none. The way they had the cameraman position, and I knew something was gonna happen because the cameraman's positioned right behind the Rock in the ring. Once the cameraman moves, gets out the ring, and now he's on the other side of the ropes, that's when Cody and Cena hug. When you get that angle of Cena turning into Peacemaker when he turned on Flag. I was gonna say Cooper Flag. What's the guy from Suicide Squad? General Flag, whatever.
Mm.
When he turned that face and the Rock goes like this, holy cow! And as I touched on, leading into the segment,
And you see it.
1996, Daytona Beach, Bash at the Beach was the day wrestling has changed, and we still get those effects now. It's when Hulk Hogan told everybody that was saying their prayers, eating their vitamins, and he told her to stick it up your rear end. John Cena, hustle, loyalty, and respect. The Make-A-Wish record breaker.
Who made a wish right before Elimination Chamber,
Who
by the way.
granted a few wishes before the show. Says, stick it up your rear end. I'm selling my soul. I'm trying to become champion. Ric Flair's record by any means necessary.
And the low blow to Cody Rhodes, and honestly, before the face change of Cena, I haven't seen that face on Cena in quite some time, and what it was for, because we've never seen for the majority of his career, we've never seen heel Cena the way that this could play out, and this is, brother, this is something. This is big.
Look, I know he's not a popular person, but his ring character, it's a lot outside of the racism. John Cena and Hulk Hogan's careers are really parallel to one another. Hulk Hogan was a heel before Hulkamania. But you would have to be really tapped in to know that. He wasn't who Hulkamania was. So when he turned heel and formed the NWO, that was a big thing. Same thing goes with John Cena. John Cena, when he was the Thugonomics, Dr. Thugonomics, was a heel. Very short-lived, but that's before the John Cena we all know as a hustle, loyalty, and respect. All the colored T-shirts, all the Make-A-Wish grants and stuff like that, and just being the star that we know of John Cena. So this is very similar to Hulk Hogan turning heel. If anything, this might be even bigger because this is more than 20 years in the making of people wanting Cena to turn heel. Cena mentioning it in 2012 that he wanted to go heel when feuding with The Rock, and him finally doing it on the farewell tour. And this accomplished two things too, bro. I think Cody Rhodes was getting stale as a babyface. This elevates it. This elevates it even more. And John Cena being a heel is so intriguing because I don't know what we're gonna get. Because I could see so many things, like you said, bro. It's so many routes he can go. He can go suit business like Cena. He can still wear his jorts, but have a different look, have a different attitude. Now, before we recorded, bro, I was listening to John Cena when he spoke about how he was going to become a heel in 2012 with Chris Van Fleet, and you can check it out on his podcast, where I think we might get this now with this heel Cena now that it's come to fruition. He said he's going to do the opposite of everything he preached. Hustle, loyalty, and respect. And it's funny how we didn't see it, but he already went against the hustle, putting in the hard work when he instantly, after Royal Rumble in his press conference, put his name in the Elimination Chamber match. Oh, I'm coming in. I deserve it. Whatever. I normally don't go this route, but with my career, what I've been able to accomplish, I deserve it. Punk mentions it in his promo. Everybody fought for their spot while Cena said, I'm going to be in the spot, and there's nothing you can do about it. We should have saw it then.
Yeah, and this is the thing. This is why I love social media, right? So this happens, and immediately after, everybody who's a fan starts putting up clips that just gives you little hints. Roman Reigns calling John Cena in the past a fake. CM Punk in the past calling him a fake. You know, people have literally said that John Cena is putting on a character, and this is not who he really is. I remember when they said, "You're no longer the Boston Red Sox, you're the Yankees," and that was a big line at the time. And it's just the little seeds that have been planted. If you're a fan, if you've been watching it for so long, because on the surface level, yes, this is crazy. If you've been watching for a very long time, this is just shocking because you never thought you were going to get this. And man, they paid it off. Even the match with Bray Wyatt, where Bray Wyatt tells the story of a heel Cena with the NWO and stuff like that, like things that you just forget that happened in the past that people were just saying like. These all planted the seeds to get us there. And then, of course, Cena is doing a farewell tour, but the real reason is because he has an acting career that, honestly, he's probably the second best wrestling actor outside of Batista. So it's just it's beautiful. It's beautifully done, and we questioned it. We always hate seeing The Rock as much as we do. How much screen time he takes away from talent. Um, but if you're gonna pay it off this way, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I can't wait for Raw. I can't wait for Raw. Or SmackDown. I just know I'll be tapped in this week. So guys, we're gonna do, if you notice, where we're not, we got some WrestleMania matches now set. With Cody versus a heel now, John Cena. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair, and now Jey Uso versus Gunther. So, guys, we will have a WrestleMania preview show where we're going to break down everything. So, if you guys were expecting to hear that, we apologize, but we gotta keep you guys wanting more. So we're gonna get into that. But let us know what you guys think about the Elimination Chamber in the comments below. We're running a little long, brother, but we gotta talk about our Knicks because we had an interesting week, an exciting week. So let's talk about it, guys. It's our new set. It's our segment, This Week in Knicks. Roll it.
This Week in Knicks.
All right, y'all. So on This Week in Knicks, brother, man, you are knocking it out the park with your predictions, man. You're starting to run away with this. As you had a perfect week, as Dave updated in last week's episode. Dave, us losing to the
Celtics.
Celtics. So you've been pretty good with that. And so far you've been right about us beating Philadelphia and us beating Memphis. So obviously as this recording, Miami Heat, the Knicks play the Miami Heat this evening, which I will be there. So Dave will update you guys. I will update you guys on the results. Dave is gonna obviously plug it into the show because this is the magic of editing.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you some breaking news.
Breaking news, you already know we had to cut the show because the Knicks make it a perfect 3-0 week. Dave is leading right now. We just took over, down by 20, 116-112. The Knicks come back with a monstrous win, baby. Dave, you're leading in the chicken tender sub, but I don't care because the Knicks make it a perfect 3-0 week. Back to the show.
But brother, let's talk about briefly this Memphis Grizzlies game. That was a big game. Jalen Brunson didn't have such him and Towns really short. It was a very short. It was a really gritty game. You didn't see much as far as someone having an outstanding game. It seemed very balanced with the scoring. Towns didn't have such a great game, but Brunson, as he does always, man, comes through in the end. OG Anunoby, game winning three. Um, Man, that was a tough 4 game. It felt really good to win that game.
Yeah, and you have stars like Brunson put up 23. I'm actually looking at it right now. Brunson put up 23, 7 and 6. OG 19, 3 and 3, and then Mikal went up for 15, 2 and 3. Karl-Anthony Towns, he barely put up he almost put up a double double. Um, this was a game where I feel like the turnover differential played a big role into this.
Yeah,
It was a lot closer than I imagined it being, but they coughed the ball up 10 times. The Grizzlies, and I think that helped get us to where we were. Pivotal plays at the end that got us there as well.
but
Um,
the scary part about that game was, brother, because of the turnovers. So many Grizzly turnovers, but yet they were still leading throughout the whole game. And I'm like, yo, we're not capitalizing on these turnovers. So this was a official cardiac Knicks win. But I'll say this: it felt good because we weren't. This team has been, if they weren't losing to bad teams, they've been smoking them. So to see that we can win a game in the mud, and I get it, yeah, like, oh, we're 0-7 against the top three teams or whatever. The Memphis Grizzlies are still tied for the number 4 seed.
they're in the
Uh,
playoffs. They're going
they
to be in
they
the
had the
playoffs.
fourth best record in the NBA. They were tied with us. So this was a tough game. This was a gritty game. Memphis, the way their team is designed, poses a lot of threats for the Knicks. And the way that the Knicks were able to win this game with Brunson not having such a great night, Karl-Anthony Towns finished with 11 points, but it was just the defense from Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby with the return of Mitchell Robinson. And I am so happy because one, Mitchell Robinson, shout outs to you, man. You came back in phenomenal shape. I don't think I've ever seen Mitchell Robinson in this good a shape ever. He looks phenomenal. I don't think it's gonna take him that long, brother, to get really tapped into getting back into the
His
groove
in
of
season
things. Yes.
legs.
He looks in good shape, and you've already seen the impact he has on the court when John Morant was going for the game winning layup. How, you know what I mean? His size there just it definitely played a part in Morant missing that layup. It's good to have Mitch back. It's good to have Mitch back.
Yeah, he only put up 6 points, but yeah, at the end of the day, I don't care for Mitch for his points. I care for him for what you bring to the defensive table. And you said it yourself, like once we get him in season form, I look out, especially with that combo. If all right, Carl Anthony Towns go sit, or if we put him at the 4 and we have Mitch there, I'm very interested in seeing how those twin towers play together. So
Yeah, I
I'm
love
happy
it.
to see Mitch back, but he came back at the right time because we also got some bad news this week.
Yeah, and I was just gonna get into that. As we got Mitch back, we lose Hulkamania, Ariel Hukporty. He got hurt in the Sixer game, and we found out that it was due to a torn meniscus. So we're gonna be without Hukporty for about 4 to 6 weeks. That's gonna suck. I don't, obviously that's what he's gonna be out. There's no timetable of getting him back in the playoff shape. I mean, getting him back in the playing shape. So I would be highly surprised if he comes back by the season. But speedy recovery for Porty. We couldn't get Mitch at a better time. And speaking of centers, there was a report over the week, brother, from Jake Fisher that he, and this is what pisses me off because this is like because you have nothing to talk about. The narrative of the Knicks being able to beat the top teams is kind of faded a little bit because now it's already been a week. So I was like, all right, what can we find else to put the Knicks to involve the Knicks? And this guy goes on to report that at one point, because he's not specific with his timeline, that the Knicks were willing to part ways with all their draft capital for Joel Embiid before pivoting to Town and Bridges. Brother, before I haven't actually input on this. So being that he didn't give up a timeline, and he's saying that I'm gonna make up a timeline of my own. I'm thinking he's this Jake Fisher is going off last off season because he says they were considering Embiid before pivoting to Mikal Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns. And I'm going to be honest, I just can't believe that. I can't believe that Leon Rose, after he saw Joel Embiid play us in that first round, thought, okay, yeah, we're gonna trade all our draft capital for this guy. The way Joel Embiid looked in the playoffs, and yeah, he had some great performances against us. The guy could barely move. He couldn't blink. The guy had cerebral palsy or whatever he said in his face. Like he has like signs of that. There's no way. I think this is another Knicks for clicks kind of reporting. It makes I'm just so sick of it. I'm sick of it.
I mean, look, I'm gonna take it for what it is, right, and what it was reported. And honestly, I'm just happy we didn't trade for Embiid. Don't get me wrong, Embiid, when healthy, is one of the best players in the league and former MVP and everything. But I'm sorry, we have to put injuries into the picture, and I'm happy the Knicks are not handicapped with that player. Trust the process. The process has shown us what they've got, and I'm very happy that the Knicks didn't pull this trigger. Embiid, I hope you're healthy. I don't hate you, but I'm just happy the Knicks don't have you, and I'll leave it
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah, same. So before we wrap up this week in Knicks, we got to talk about the upcoming games. And it's gonna be some tough ones. It's gonna be some entertaining ones to say the least. So the next three games for the Knicks guys will be Tuesday, March 4th, as they take on Steph Curry and them boys in Golden State. March 4th at 7:30 in Madison Square Garden, and then the Knicks start their West Coast trip with Thursday, March 6th, 10 p.m. That's a TNT game, guys. With the Knicks going against LeBron, Luka, and them boys in LA, followed by a back-to-back Friday, 10:30 start March 7th. I gotta fix that. Um, in the graphic, David's gonna put the graphic. I don't even know why I mentioned that, but this is guys. This is the ozone. We're transparent with you guys. It's a back to back, guys. The Knicks play Friday, against the Clippers. Brother, so we know who the Knicks are playing. What are, what's your prediction? You've been on a roll. I'm gonna let you go first. You've been on a roll.
Oh man. Okay. I got us winning against the Warriors, so that's one. I could see us losing that Lakers game. I could see us losing that Lakers game. So I'm gonna do Lakers lose against LA, and then we beat the Clippers. So I'm going. Yeah, that's how I'm going. I'm going Warriors. We win. Lakers. We lose. Clippers. We beat.
Uh, I'm going 2-1 as well, but I'm gonna flip the LA teams. I'm gonna go with a win against Golden State. I'm going against a win with the Lakers, and then I'm gonna go with a loss, being that Friday's a back to back. I'm going with the loss against the Clippers. I think the Knicks can I think the Knicks get back against the Lakers. I don't know if Austin Reeves is gonna play. I think Austin Reeves is gonna be out. I know he got injured. Austin Reeves, you should know he's on your fantasy team.
Yeah, he's hurt, but
Yeah,
I think he's right
he's
now
hurt,
day to
right?
day. I think he's day to day.
Oh, he's day to day. He's day to day. Okay,
Yeah.
regardless, we still getting that dub. I'm going 2-1. So I'm going 2-1, a win against Golden State, a win against the Lakers, and the loss against the Clippers. So yeah, so let's see what happens. I need a good week. I've been off last couple weeks, and Dave is good thing we still got over 20 games to go, and I can make up. But right now it's looking like I'm out to buy Dave a chicken tender sub the way it's going.
Double
Um,
bacon.
Double bacon. Dang. Alrighty, y'all, but we gotta get to our favorite segment, guys. And we're gonna be quick with this one because we're running long. So let's get into it on Quick Hits. All right, y'all. So on Quick Hits, you already know this is where we give you the news all over the world. The hits are so quick, you don't see it coming. So, brother, let's start it off. Fox Sports has sidelined Joy Taylor from her hosting duties on the show to speak. A Fox spokesperson declined to comment on why Joy Taylor's been sidelined. Brother, do you think Joy is being sidelined has anything to do with her prior allegations?
I think so. Just because there's no other reason why you would sideline her. Maybe she. Okay, let's put all the scenarios that could be there just really quick. Maybe she's sick. Maybe she needs some time off. Maybe, but she's out here promoting something else, which is called passes, where you could subscribe to her for $10 to $100 a month. So it may be painting a picture of where things are going. So that's interesting. Honestly, I've said what I said about Joy Taylor. I don't like it as a good look for women. If you're using men to get you to a higher standard, and then you're also here preaching about being a woman who's getting advanced and everything like that, it just contradicts it and it sets women back if that's the case. So I think it does have something to do with where things are going, but we'll see. Brother, this week, LeBron James was asked about Anthony Edwards' comment about not wanting to be the face of the NBA. LeBron said, "Why do you want to be the face of the league when all the people that cover and talk about our game shits on everybody?" So, do you agree with LeBron's take?
I do 100%. I've been on record of coming at Shaq and a lot of these players that, especially on TNT, all you do is see them crap on the game. You know what I mean? Where instead of analyzing the game, they're talking about how a player shouldn't deserve this or that, or and back in my day, man, I wish I was born earlier, and blah 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 blah. So I can't blame Ant Edwards not wanting to be the face of the league, and I 100% agree with LeBron. Let's just put it like this: Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith they've become bigger than ever due to talking crap about players. Let's just put it like that.
Especially LeBron.
Because no one knew Stephen A. Smith when he was a columnist. Everybody knew him as a big mouth Kwame Brown on ESPN. So that's enough there. San Antonio Spurs got some bad news as their legendary coach Greg Popovich announced that he's going to remain out for the rest of the season as he continues to recover from his stroke. Brother, should Pop retire?
I think he should, and it's more so like, what does he have left to prove? The guy's a five-time NBA champion. He's a three-time NBA coach and an Olympic gold medalist. At the end of the day, Pop, you're getting up there in age, and right now it may be at the point where maybe you could be a counselor to teams and stuff like that, or like what was it that Doc Rivers, that role he took on?
An advisor,
An advisor. You
like an
can be an
advisor.
advisor if you want to step away. I get it. You probably don't want to step away from basketball because you love it that much, but it may be time to just take a step back and just focus on your health and your life. You know what's left of it. I'm not trying to kill you off. I'm just
What's
saying.
left of it?
I'm not trying to kill him
You're
off,
killing
but
the man.
I'm not trying to kill him off. But it's just like, let's be realistic. There's not much time left, so just enjoy what you have
This,
left, man.
this makes.
Brother. All right, so on Friday, Shams reported that Philadelphia 76ers Joel Embiid has been ruled out for the rest of the season. How are we feeling?
Well, good thing Joel Embiid, you're not killing. You don't got this question. You'd have killed off Joel Embiid too. Prime example why I didn't think the Knicks we're looking at Embiid. Maybe this reporting that Jake Fisher said was probably a couple years ago, but it's the reason why I don't believe that they decided to pivot off Towns. Like I don't think that news was recent because we already knew Joel Embiid had bad knees. And the crazy part is, if I'm a Sixer fan, I'm pissed off because he gave him an extension and he tried to play. He played in the Olympics, but then you have all this knee issues and stuff, bro. All I'll just say is this: it's poetic justice. When this news was announced that Joel Embiid was out for the rest of the season, was the same day as the return of Mitchell Robinson. That's poetic justice, and that's called karma. So good luck with that, Philly. All right, Matthew Stafford re-signed with the Los Angeles Rams. So now the Giants are pivoting to another veteran quarterback, and it's rumored that it may be Aaron Rodgers. Brother, should the Giants consider signing Aaron Rodgers?
I say, honestly, no, they shouldn't. But I can see why they would sign him. If you're signing Rodgers, it's because you're using him to maybe train or like have whoever's coming up out of the draft just study under Aaron Rodgers. But I think he's such a cancer to organizations at this point of his career, and I just don't see him working with Dabble and Sheen to get the Giants on the page that they need to be. It makes headlines, but it doesn't make the Giants any better. If you're going off of what we saw for the last 2 years from Aaron Rodgers between the injury and what he did this year, so I don't think they should do it. The reigning Rookie of the Year, Luis Gil, has been shut down due to discomfort in his throwing shoulder. Should the Yankees fans be worried?
No, no. Hopefully, it's nothing important. But it's just so funny how we were quick to want to ship Marcus Stroman, and because we have a 6-man rotation, he didn't want to go in the bullpen. It's just funny how those things work itself out on his own.
A little
So good
voodoo,
thing we,
a little
yeah,
voodoo.
yeah, oh yeah. Who knows? Who knows what Marcus Stroman is into? But um, I hope it's nothing serious. Obviously, it's a shoulder, so it's not an elbow. If it was an elbow, I think I would have been a little worried. But it's a shoulder, so maybe it can just be some little minor pain. Take a couple weeks off, and maybe take an early month. Well, the Yankees will be all right. The 49ers has traded their Pro Bowl wide receiver to the Washington Commanders for a 5th-round pick. Brother, does that make the Commanders the favorite in the NFC?
No, you got Philly. They just won the championship, and they have Saquon, a Saquon who didn't take any time off or any injuries. So no, this doesn't make them the favorite as far as the NFC East is concerned, or that the conference. Um, it is a step in the right direction because Jaden Daniels is a great talent, and they need someone else for him to throw to. But it doesn't make them the favorite.
Mm.
All right, brother, that is quick hits.
Yeah, that's quick hits, y'all. But we can't wrap up. We can't wrap up an episode without sharing you guys the highlight of the week.
He's on fire!
All right, y'all. So highlight of the week, man. We got to show some love to people outside of New York. I've been a little biased these last couple weeks for highlight of the week, man. We got to show some love to Portland Trailblazers. Sheldon Sharp, man, with a potential dunk of the year. Rack attack, as Iron Eagle would say. Brother, this dunk was filthy, man. This man, like, bro, he's got some hang time. We didn't see him. We didn't see Sharp in a dunk contest. He gets the steal and just put Champagne. I think it was Champagne on a
Yep.
poster.
Yep.
Brother, Portland's been cooking. Shout out to Chauncey Billups. He's got them really respectable. He's got them playing really respectable. They got a couple good young players that they can build around. Sheldon Sharp is one of them. Bro, he came through with that dunk.
Yeah, congratulations off the steal. That was a great play. I'm gonna watch that. They're considering it the dunk of the year, and honestly, I know we had McClung recently on for his dunk contest performance, but that is a dunk contest. Everything is staged. This is in game, and this is why it looks so much better. So kudos to you, Shaden Sharp. You are now
Yeah.
Ozone.
He's a recipient of the highlight of the week. You can't get a bigger honor than that in your sports career. You know what I'm saying? But guys, we just want to thank you guys. We know this episode ran a little long, but there was just so much, man. You just can't breeze through John Cena finally becoming a bad guy. So, guys, let us know what you think. Let us know what's your top 10 list for the biggest athletes in New York. Let us know what you think about John Cena. We really want to know what you guys think about John Cena. Did you guys feel betrayed? Or did you guys feel like, man, it's about time we're going to get a heel John Cena where he's going to be able to cut it loose without the chains of Vince McMahon, behind the scenes? Let us know about the Knicks. Let us know your predictions. Do you think that the Knicks are going to be able to go to a perfect against Golden State, the Lakers, and the Clippers? Let us know everything. Let us know what you thought on quick hits and everything involving Aaron Rodgers possibly going to the Giants. But guys, we want you guys to comment, like, share, subscribe, do all that, guys. We're trying to get to 100. I believe we got 89 subscribers right now. Guys, come on, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tap in with your boys from the Ozone. And remember to follow us on TikTok and Instagram and on Threads, guys. We're on Threads as well. This is where we post a lot of news and just Knicks scores and highlights and that sort of thing. So you guys are going to want to tap in with your boys from there. So, brother, it's been a good episode. But the work never stops. Because we're already going to be working on next week's episode because we bring that fire every Monday, 12 noon, because we are the Ozone. Peace!
It's more than a podcast. It's a sports throne. Let's kick it off right. Welcome to the Ozone.